how to embody your desired end completely and not hold on to it so much that you're strangling it so it can't unfold from within you. You can't just be that person right now. This is Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and I came across a very cool story that I wanted to share, and I'll combine it with another one that I already knew, which was the actor Chris Pratt. While he was filming Parks and Recreation, he had a very cool moment, right? And it really does break down manifestation on a base level. Yeah, even referencing The Secret when they were speaking about it on stage. So what happened was, they had this idea to do background filming, like the actors in the background, the trailers, whatever it was. And most of the cast said no. You see, reality from Chris Pratt's point of view is unfolding. Okay? It's unfolding because everyone else said no to this. He's the one that said yes. He's the one that gave himself the idea in the moment, or rather, his higher self gave him the awareness that, hey, you could be great. You could have a great thing going, a very great thing going, if you allow yourself to even play with this idea. So he's in his trailer, and he's the one that said yes, and he starts filming in his trailer. And in the film, he gets a text message, and I don't think it was from this person, but it was from some random person. But he's still on film. He's still filming himself doing this thing. So he made a joke. He said, oh, it's Steven Spielberg. He wants me to be in the new Jurassic World movie. This was in 2013 or something, like 6 years before the new Jurassic Park movies were coming out, Jurassic World movies were coming out. And 5 years goes by, linear time meaning nothing, right? Because that means in the frame where it's 5 years ago, in the frame of existence that we were all experiencing, what we call 5 years ago, the idea was there. Somebody clicked in this idea, so hey, Jurassic Park reboot or rebranding will be a great idea. And one of the people who was readily going to be involved in the movie was Chris Pratt, and that idea came to him because remember, it is your higher self in your reality that literally unfolds the whole thing, the whole universe, our individual universes, right? Our individual realities. And I like the story because it's not some small thing where like your crush or something texts you. It's a really big global thing because your I am awareness is God. You are God. It doesn't have a limit. When you stop limiting it, it just poof, right? You just stop limiting it, and you really understand that if you limit it, it really I'll get that. Yeah. So he gets the call 6 years later, and you couldn't believe it, right? And he starts to backpedal. He said, I made a joke about this 6 years ago. But what really happened? He called forth the idea in his imagination, in his assumption of this thing. He made a joke about it, more or less, and he just naturally went about what he was doing. He's being an actor. He's an actor, and he's acting in that movie. He must have played it in his mind maybe a little bit. Maybe he thought about it. He thought it was an absurd idea. But there we go. He's in the movie, right? We all know he's in the movie. Or the famous 3 velociraptor scene. It's quite funny. But that's the thing. It's the same thing with Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey wrote down a blank check for 10 million for actors acting fees rendered or something, and he gave it to his dad because he got Dumb and Dumber. It's the same thing. You're calling forth a reality. Now, please bear in mind, it wasn't him on the phone, and it wasn't him writing it down. It was him as awareness, his higher self as awareness, himself, his true self as awareness, putting his mind, his consciousness, his focus onto that idea, letting it be there, and then letting it go, and it goes off into the world, and it just comes. All of it just comes, and sometimes you get worried. But what if the one that I want doesn't come? All of it comes, everything. That's why sometimes you get overwhelmed by what we call negative circumstances, because there's an avalanche of everything, of lack and of love, right? But it all comes from love. So, what actually happened was that he received from his higher self a notion about this idea. He didn't need to, but it makes him more aware that he's the creator of his reality. Those little synchronicities are you just experiencing yourself being in a reality where you are consciously becoming aware that you're the controller of it, right? So You don't have to dumb down what you're believing in, because, and this is a bit of a concept that you have to kind of listen very carefully. Hopefully, I can say it properly. When you start to bargain with God, and I'll give a very flat example. Say you're in love with somebody and you haven't seen them in a while. You start to talk to yourself and you start saying, okay, you know what, fine, God, I'll just take friendship. I'll take less than what I want. I didn't get the job, maybe I'll get something similar to it. I'll take less than what I want. Or maybe something better will come than what I want. Now you bargaining. You want something. Not only do you want something, you want that something to be deepened. Right? And it is as deep as you can go. It is as deep as you can go. And you start to doubt it and doubt it and doubt it. The deeper and deeper you get into it, you say, it can't be this lovely. It can't be this amazing. You start to doubt it and doubt it and doubt it. So, what happens? Do you manifest the watered down version of what you want? Nope. What you want does not manifest. Who you are being manifests what you are focused on. If you are focused on watering down your life, your desires, you are not going to get the friendship with a specific person. You are going to get the experience of watering down your life. However that looks. I can't tell you how it looks. Only your source will actually be able to make you feel that, because you are the one calling it forth to feel it. Right? You are your source. Listen very carefully again. You don't get the friendship with a specific person if what you desire is romantic experiences. You get to experience, because you have it already, an experience of lack and watering down your desires. You don't, I hope that makes sense, right? Because it's a state of being, and your state of being is lowering your standards. Or rather, dimming your light, believing God cannot live up to what it is you are desiring. God is the only one capable of living up and delivering to you that which you deliver to yourself completely. Only God. You are that God. Your awareness is that beingness of it. So it doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter how big it is. It doesn't matter how many people are involved. Right? It doesn't matter if it's a movie or a moment. It means nothing to God in the size of the spectrum of it. In the time means nothing as well. It didn't diminish Chris Pratt thinking, I hope I get this movie on the weekend. He didn't even know it existed. 5 years later, I think he's in 3 of them now or something. Right? That's crazy, because he just let himself go. He just kept going. And if you think that no, it's lucky, he was already an actor, he was already this, he was already that. Chris Pratt was doing Parks and Rec. And anyone looking at him in that as Andy in that show would not say he's Star-Lord and a guy who runs around with dinosaurs. You just wouldn't. Source doesn't care about your opinion on what he can and can't do, whether he's lucky or not. And his own opinion of himself to whether he can or cannot is whether he can dream the thing and whether he will dilute that dream or not. He didn't. He dreamt it and he let it go. Natural, that's it. But he was an actor. I'm sure he had moments in his mind where he perceived himself acting at greater limits, because you are now an unlimited being. Right? But why do these things even exist? Why do they come prior to them existing? I don't think anyone in 2013 thought they were going to reboot or recreate or rebrand Jurassic Park. But why did they do that? Because creation is finished. You see, all the things you matter about, all the things you don't like, all the things you wonder about, all the things you want to create, all these things you want to feel, they already exist, they're already created, they're already done, they're already here, and they're already now. From this very frame that we are all sitting in, wherever we desire to be, we already exist there. You could not be aware of it were it not true already. That's it. Everything in your mind is a memory. You might think that a memory is something that you physically experience, but you can't physically experience it right now in your memory, right? In your mind, in your imagination. We refer to memory as something we believe we physically experience, and then we refer to idea as something we have not yet physically experienced. But they're happening in the same place, right? They're literally happening in the same place, and it's only a story about the way it's happening, and the manner in which it is happening is how you feel about those things. Oh, Dad, that was a memory, that was fun. Oh, this is a great idea, it sounds fun. You see, it's because you're putting one over there and one over there. But they're both here, and now, and they're done.